reality we face is sports stress performance freeze. Okay? I need some volunteers. I need 2 volunteers to help me with this. Come up here. Okay, go ahead. Brian? Throw that on. Throw that on. Have a seat. Okay, so this is the feeling side of the brain and this is the thinking side of the brain. Actually, why don't I have you bring the chairs a little further apart? Let you come about right through there. Okay. How the feeling side of the brain hold the ball for now. All right, now. So we got the thinking side, we got the feeling side. Okay? They're balanced and relaxed. Throw the football back and forth for me, please. Functioning fairly well. And they're functioning fairly well because they're not under stress and because those 2 sides of the brain can communicate. Okay? So they're doing well, they're performing well. Okay? Can hold the ball. Now, what happens is there's a stress scale in life. 100 is life-threatening, 0 is spilled milk. Okay? There's also a corresponding performance scale. There's 100 that's performance-killing, and 0 which is no impact. Now what happens is, at the end of each, there are stressful events, like Michael Jordan getting cut from his team in the 10th grade. Okay? Now this can be abbreviated. The big S is 100, it gets progressively smaller. But if you're someone who's had most of your food, clothing, shelter needs met, not had anything life-threatening take place, this is going to be abbreviated. Or if you have snowplow parents, this is going to be abbreviated. Okay? Now, in order for you to function, we also have a stress container to help us deal with stressful events. It's part of the way your brain is wired through evolution to protect yourself from threats. Okay? And what happens is, when stress occurs, start throwing the ball. This door shuts. Go ahead. Oh. Try it again. Oh. You can try harder. Not hard, is it? Right? All right, now. So now the door is shut when this stressful event takes place. And what happens is, that thinking part of the brain, that side of the brain, functions like a slow internet browser or like your phone when it doesn't have very many bars. Okay? So now the brain is trying to deal with that stressful event. And what it does is it actually starts to contain it, and once the threat has gone away, it takes the information from the stressful event and stores it in your limbic system, in your amygdala, which is this small container that keeps track of all that information. Okay, so now it's in the amygdala. Go ahead and throw the ball. Working just fine. Okay? The brain has contained it. The person is back and relaxed. They're functioning and performing well. And they can perform in an unconsciously competent way. Now, with the door shut, getting harder, isn't it? Right? Now, what happens is, when they face a stressful event, it's deja vu all over again. Okay? What happens is, now what I want you to do, hold those 2 pucks. Okay. If there's a lot in their container, try to catch the ball. Throw the ball back and forth. Okay, now do it and try to catch each card. Okay? what would happen to you if I yelled at you at the same time? Did that bother you?
Depends.
Depends. Depends on what I say.
I've been yelled at a lot, so I don't listen.
Oh, good point. All right. So what happens is deja vu all over again. If you pick these back up, and he sees those pictures again of the cards he was trying to catch or the football, guess what happens? It's all over again. It actually is the other side, but you get what I'm saying, okay? Thank you, guys. You can go ahead and sit down. Yep. So the door's shut, and I've told that kid 100 times to not. That's why that happens. You may not know what's in there, but raise your hand if you've never seen this happen to a kid. Never seen it happen? Where the door is shut? The question with this, by the way, is not if this happens to you, but when. And this happens to us as coaches as well. And it's our responsibility as the adults to know how to manage this. Okay? Now, the door is shut. The best they're probably going to be able to do is conscious competence at any particular skill. Their creativity goes away. Their brutal realities emerge. Negative self-talk develops, which often is either, most of the time is, I suck and the dream is over. There are emotional floods. Steve Carroll talked about the emotional floods for a goalie. This happens to goalies. There's muscle tension, heart rate increases, and breath shortness. And one thing that's important about this is, what do you think happens to their aerobic endurance if this is constantly taking place? It affects it. And it affects their ability to function over a long period of time, not just for that specific period. So, they're probably consciously incompetent, but more than likely unconsciously incompetent. All your coaching goes away. Their focus narrows. They're in the 10th zone. Their performance narrows. Now, who can guess, or who has some ideas of signs that their door is shut? The door between thinking and feeling is shut. Yeah, what else? Yeah.
Appears glazed over.
Yep, glazed over, withdrawal. What?
Hesitant in their play.
Yep. What else?
Reactive.
Yep. You've gotten most of them. They have a fight, flight, or freeze response. Shut down, get super angry, or they're tentative, they don't know what to do, they can't make decisions. They don't know what to, right? They feel like they're in between a rock and a hard place. They start to play like a one-person team, try to do too much, try to score a three-point goal. They might rage out. They might grip the stick tighter, press, overwork, overfocus. They might play scared, afraid to lose rather than playing to win. They beat themselves up, or they do my favorite Randy Moss, play when I want to play. Might be in a prolonged slump. Now, how do you fix that?